It's not unusual for skeptics to raise the question about the talking snake in Genesis 3. It really bothers them. I think it's really ridiculous. You know, it occurs to me, I've never heard a skeptic talk about the talking jackass in the book of Numbers, you know, Balaam. Maybe it's because they're used to hearing talking jackasses, I don't know, but not snakes. In any event, how do we respond to that particular issue? And the way to respond, I think, is to point out that these things have worldview ramifications, or maybe put a different way, a thing is either ridiculous or not ridiculous based on the worldview you're committed to. An atheist is committed to a materialistic worldview. In the atheist world, not only do snakes not talk, but snakes can't talk. Nor can donkeys for that matter, but that's another issue. And so consequently, if they read about snakes talking in the Bible, this must be really ridiculous, this must be stupid. But of course that would be true of any miracle in the Bible. And in fact, that's the way they respond. They just like to pick on this one because it seems the most bizarre. For Christians who feel uncomfortable about the snake talking, I just want to remind them that the talking snake is no different than any other miracle in the Bible. Page back a couple of pages to the first line of our story, and that line goes like this: in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now that's a miracle. That's the way our story starts. The whole story then is grounded in the idea that unusual, miraculous things can happen in the world because there are beings outside of the material world who have power over the material world. And if we have good reason to believe that the Christian narrative has some validity, and I think there is good reason scientifically to believe that that first line I just cited is an accurate representation, Big Bang cosmology confirms the idea that there was a beginning where everything came into existence, and our narrative, our story, explains how that all started. So if we do live in a world that was started the way the Bible says it was started, then things like talking snakes, though maybe not the kind of thing you'd run into every day, but certainly would be possible. Satan is a real spiritual being. Spiritual beings can use physical bodies to speak through. I'm doing it right now. I am an immaterial soul speaking through a material body. You take my soul away, this body isn't going to talk. I'll be dead. So something like talking snakes, though it is unusual in our worldview, they're not impossible. And so I have no reason to take the text at anything but face value. Do I think that actually happened? Yeah, I think it did. Do snakes routinely talk? No. But anything can happen in a world where miraculous things are possible. Doesn't mean anything does happen. It simply means that if we have good reason to believe that God is speaking accurately through His Word, then there's nothing unusual about the idea that Satan, a powerful spiritual being, can take a snake and use it as a vehicle of communication, just like God used the donkey as a vehicle of communication, or a burning bush as a vehicle of communication, or in a certain fashion even you or I.